or anyway. But Father would make available Himself to the entire world to connect to Him. Therefore, Father thinks about this, thinks about that. Every activity Father conceives, and actually He does that.
그 맞아 안 맞아?
Isn't that true? Is that the right kind of a thinking?
그런 존재와 그대로 생활 양식은 살아가는 거야. 어떻게 것을 향해서 희생을 투입하면서.
So our lifestyle, our way of life is on this love, under this love, we would keep on sacrificing ourselves for the bigger, to embrace bigger level, to embrace bigger the area and the larger dimension, ever and ever. So what Father urges is never settle down, because settling down closely has no place in the tradition or anywhere for a long time to come. Maybe in the great, big, the long future, after we go around the world and accomplish that, and then come back and maybe settle down at the time. I don't think. Do you understand? Don't settle down.
집시야 집시.
So we can parallel this to what we see in today's culture, the gypsy. The gypsies are the mode of life in that way. They went around with no permanent settle down.
이 집시에게 있어서의 가난 독재의 한계가 있나니 그것이 이것이 3년간만 열심히 하면 우리에서 가난 독재의 우리 정부이 되고 있다.
But we are definitely gypsies that when we do exactly like gypsies, but after a time goes like 3 years, then there is a promised land of Canaan waiting for us to enter into them. That's the difference. Canaan, of course, is an ideal country, ideal place. We are promised to enter, to be able to enter.
세계 어느 나라도 국경이 없이 우리를 하는 것입니다. 공산주의 세계 속으로 하는 것입니다.
After that, there will be no boundary. Beyond all boundary, the people will welcome us. Welcome Unification Church movement, and namely Moonies. They will all welcome, no matter what country, beyond the barrier of the country and the barrier of the ideology, like whether communism or democracy. Do you understand?
비자 없이
And ultimately, there will be the free traffic, free communication without visa. If you want to visit somewhere, some country, you don't need any visa to visit your own brothers and sisters. And these boundaries and the visa, who created that? The thieves created that. They needed to protect themselves because they robbed from other people, so that they retaliate them. They sent a barrier. True master of a property will bring no barrier. They will welcome. It's part of their own land. Do you understand? Yes. And however misplacing this may be, it may seem now, that's nevertheless the goal of our God.
더더구나 문의에게는 각국 나라가 전부 다 비자 안 내가 악착까지 이분 무슨
And today, on the contrary,
그것은 뭐냐면 문의는 비자 필요 없는 것을 확실히 알아. 사탄을 찍어줘.
today the other countries are they're lenient issuing visas, especially to Unification Church members. And Father, look at that. It just makes Father wonder. Why is Unification Church member harmful to them? Certainly not. Even Satan knows that. Then Father takes that as a lesson that to teach us that in the future you need no visa. So we learn a lesson that Satan is teaching us. We won't need any visa in the future. In God's love, certainly, this process of visa is not consumable. It's not thinkable.
하나님의 사랑이지만 사랑받으면 노비자.
When God's love gives you approval, not in the form of material, but His love spiritually gives you the approval, then you should require no visa. You should go anywhere you must go and bring the message of God. And that's our way of life.
남편을 쫓아내고 지나가는 문의로 환영할 수 있는 그런 전통이 있어요. 그래서 하나나라의 법이라고.
And this true tradition of heaven, this law of heaven calls for every Moonies, every individual church members. Your husband and wife are sleeping in the same bed, but there happens to be somebody knocking on your door in the middle of the night. That happens to be one of our brothers and sisters, the Moonies, working the mission work there. Then you should usher him or her into the room and vacate your own bed. Please sleep here. And entertain and treat the passing brother and sister there. And the husband and wife may sleep down on the floor. That is a tradition Father would like to see to be set in the unification church. And that would be nice, wouldn't it? If this becomes a
문의가 세계적으로 일어났다니 말이야. 문의 있는 거는 그 우전이에요. 이렇겠구만. 뭐 따라만 하지만 세계 어디 가서.
On the same principle, when you are needing to make some travel and authorized to travel, then all you need is just to keep the minimum belongings to yourself and visit any country, any our members' family, and then sleep there. You don't need any money.
우리 집에 세계 각국 나라 뜻을 위해 사는 사람이 세계 위에 활동하는 사람이 몇 사람 된다느냐 앞으로 잘하는 거야.
So in the future, the pride is how many persons we have housed in our household. How many people we treated them so nicely is the source of our pride in the future. Do you understand? In your household, how many people? And they compete each other. The more guests you have received, the more honorable.
아이고, private place.
Again, there's a lot of going against us in American custom now. Call before you come. That's a hell with it. Hell calling before. Go walk in there just as good as your own home.
부인이 말이야 남편 돼가지고 전화하고 들어와서 그런 말 통해?
Sometimes even a husband, the wife wants you didn't call before you came to the home. That's the truth. The husband coming home and the wife is complaining because he didn't call. Because he called every day, that day he didn't call.
그런 세계를 맺는 어때?
So this kind of a new world we are building and we are after that. No matter what the present situation is, how does it sound to you?
내가 말이야 흑인이 젊은 사람 엎드려가지고 가고 백인한테 엎드려가지고 흑인도 비동만 상도 비동 어디 말이죠?
If father will be on the back of the poor Negro, the colored person in Africa, and how would it be? Wouldn't it be so nice that the Negro will carry father on his back? It's such a beautiful sight, won't it be? Of course, the white people carrying father on the back must be done much earlier than that. Don't you think that the people should carry father in his back and not to be carried by father? He's already burdened.
나는 미국에서 자동차에서 네? 한국 같은데 아시아 같은 데 가면 자기 어머니 젊은 할머니를 손자가고 가면 참을 때 다리 이렇게 흔들고 그러면 철학하지 찬양할 만한 사람 내가 그런 데가 있다고 이 서양에서 그런 걸 한다고
But we see that all the time in the Orient. The young people carrying. truly because he loves you so much, and the one who feels embarrassed should, should be punished. And matter of fact, this is a serious point too.
그러니까 우리 생활에 간단한 얘기야. 전장으로 알고 생활량 쓰는 나는 전쟁에서 사는 데는 사람들이 사는 것이다. 간단하게 말은 간단하게 말하는 이거 뭐 철렁이 해도 간다는 게
So father can go example after example, can spend a whole year, many years to do that, but conclusion is always simple. If you understand that conclusion is under the law, live for the sake of others, sacrificing yourself. It's very easy to say, but then this is one commandment we have to carry out.
한 가지 요즘에 맛있는 파인에 저 집에 낙성 시켜나갈 들어가는 뒤라고 나무 뒤주면 나도 안 싫어한다고. 그 내가 뭐 칭찬한다는 걸 좋아하지. 백백 나와서 뭐 선생님 칭찬하고 뭐 저거들까 난 별거 다 되는데 간단한 건데 나는 이렇게 살라고 세계를 위해 살고 하나를 위해 살라고 하는데 그게 인간의 본래 가르치인데 예전이 약간이야. 사는 것은 원수까지 살아갔다고 사는 것밖에 없는 예전이야.
When father went down to Washington Times in cake cutting, open house ceremony, in fact there was a ceremony and there was a banquet, and the father was ushered into the VIP, the head table. Father doesn't always like this sitting on in the head table. But that day he was made to sit in that table, and a lot of Americans, Caucasians, white people come out, and person after another, they give the praise to the father. They just cherish him so much that they give all kinds of compliments. And father just it made the father wonder, why is he making such a great point of how great I am? All I did, father thought, all I did was live for the sake of the enemy, live for the sake of the mankind. That's all I did. One principle and one principle only. I really don't feel that I did something great or something truly great, but that's a natural way. Whoever doesn't do that is very, very ungrateful. But what I did was not great. So why do they make a lot of the commotion to praise me, Father thought?
그리고 너 노래해가지고 뭐 이 배우들한테 노래하라고 박수 해달라고 했대. 너 박수 때문에 댕기는 사람이야 전부 다. 자기 책임과 의무에 대해서 왕들의 마음에 대한 문제가 있는데 박수 없는 분들이 뭐 시끄러울 때 거고 울면 박수로 도저히 되지 왜 그래? 내가 그런 말 아이고 내가 저렇게 일하는 건 저렇게 한영 또 밖에 일하는 건
It's just like a great man of performance. Performance at that day. They all give a lot of applause. Sometimes they give big applause, sometimes they don't give so much of big applause. Father thought about it immediately and said, well, it doesn't, I don't like it so much. I mean, I don't mind it at the moment, but I don't like it so much being praised by them like that. I didn't do that to be praised. If I am praised, they think, because I'm praised, I must have obligation to do it even better next time. No, Father wants to remain free. Do what he's supposed to do by God and by mankind. He's supposed to. And then do it whether the people recognize for him or not. Of course, recognize he'll be happy, but unrecognized, still Father does what he should do. And it's not because of the applaud, because Father feels good and do better next time or anything like that. Simply, what I have to do is my way of life. That is my way of life. I have no other way of life. I have never thought about living the life other manner. And such a natural thing. So Father thought.
그런 생각이 들어요. 저렇게 찬양하는데 레브렌문 같은 한 일을 몇 사람 내가냐? 그 찬양도 가짜다.
But then receiving these praise, Father thought, among these people who praise me so much to utmost degree, how many people are ready to carry out the task I have been carrying out? Then Father thought, not many. Then the applaud and cherish that they give are almost like not the real, not the true one, almost like a fake. He himself cannot do that and want to do that, and he wants to cherish him. It just does not stand to reason. Do you understand?
내외란 사고방식이 근본적으로 다르다는 얘기가 합니다.
Well, the fourth point Father would like to bring to this moment is that when a person lives his life, he must live so by a certain principle. That certain principle is this principle, and that is so important that Father never forgot that principle while Father has been living day to day. No matter how great a work or how small great or small work Father did, Father only did it according to this principle. He cannot do otherwise. That's a way of life.
그래서 무슨 말?
Do you understand what Father is pointing out? So we are reminded again that we must live. Think about America when we live, when we eat, when we sleep, when we do everything. Think about
그
America.
아내와 그 가정을 위해서 우리가 살지만 그보다 큰 사람을 위해 살는
Of course, we live for the sake of the family and for the sake of the immediate society, true. But that's not enough. That's not all. Beyond that, if anybody loves that more than the poor, then he is doing wrong.
그 천국은 뭐 이런 자기 가정을 위해서 사람이
But isn't it such a simple conclusion? What is heaven? Heaven is where the people care about everybody else in the world as much as he cares about his family. That's heaven.
할아버지 할머니 어머니 아버지 자기 아내
That includes grandfather, grandmother, no matter how old they are. That means one has to love old grandfather, grandmother more than your young wife or young family.
사단이야.
Four generations, and in that order. First, we must give utmost respect to the highest ancestor, which is our grandmother, grandfather, grandmother, who lives together with us.
하늘나라의 사람 백성으로서 사랑을 참 우주 사랑을 체험하기 위한 교제로서의 가정이다. 교제로서의 가정이야. 교제로서의 내게 가르쳐주는 그 기반이 가정의 기반이다 하는 거 말이야.
So we are told and taught again and again that family is most important. Why? Because the family is a textbook through which and by which we are taught how to love the people of the world. Once we love our family, we know how to love the rest of the world. And that, after that, we go to heaven. That's the heaven.
그러니까 산 사람은 세 영계라는 국정이 없는 거야. 그래 가더라도 길이
So such a person may have a boundary on the physical now, but such a person would never find the boundary in the spiritual heaven. In the spirit world, he can go anywhere and nobody is blocking you.
원칙이 하나는 원칙이 하나서
It's a very simple the principle, if you call that.
세계 남자를 내 남편보다 더 사랑하기 위해서 남편을 내게 준 것이요 세계 여자를 내 아내보다 더 사랑하기 위해서 아내를 준 것이요 세계의 어린이들을 내 아들보다 더 사랑하기 위한 교육을 하기 위해서 줬다 이렇게 생각하는 거야.
To think, and automatically and naturally, you must think, I must love somebody else's wife, respect and cherish and do service and take seriously all that way, true love. I must truly love other people's wife more than my own wife. How is it possible? Because you are able to love your wife. All you have to do is extend that to other people and elevate it a little more. So, what do you call? There are name given, title given, honorable title given to children who live for the sake of their parents. What do you call that? Filial piety, filial sons and daughters.
나라를 위해서
How about the country?
세계를 사랑하자.
How about the world?
선생님이 가르치는 뭐야?
But what is Father teaching? What is Reverend Moon teaching?
하나님과 세계와 우주를 사랑하는 성령에 받는다.
If you, on top of that, if you love God and the universe, then you will become the one above the saint, or holy sons and daughters. Where would you go and remain to be? Holy sons and daughters or saints?
하나님 같은 사랑을 마음을 가지고
That means easy. It may be said, but that
마음을 가져가지고 가정을 살아갔다. 필요한 다이어트를 많이 했어요.
So the people call you saint when you love the country just like a parents who the country's children. Likewise, when you cherish your parents, then they call you the filial son. He is really filial son towards his parents.
그래서 그런 사상에는 그런 것이 가정을 희생해서 나라를 구해줄 가르치고 나라를 희생해서 세계를 인류를 가르쳐 희생해서 가르치는 그런
This is Oriental teaching, day-to-day, everyday teaching. When they go to school, then the school teaches this actually, saying that you must respect the country more than your own family. Even though you sacrifice your family, you must think first of the benefit of the country and you cherish the country. And all these things. And in the West, Western civilization, you have never heard of them.
자, 그럼 너는 결론. true parent가 뭐야? true parent가 뭐야?
So, what is true parents? What is true parents?
physical parent하고 true parent은 뭐야?
What is the difference between physical parents? We have physical parents as well as true parents.
어?
True parents can show us how to be holy son and daughter.
true parent은 뭐야?
How can you best describe true parents?
true parent가 뭐라는 게 true parent이야? 무슨 사랑을 그렇게 주는 true parent이고 무슨 사랑을 그렇게 주는 사랑을 중사고 말할 때그 physical parent하고 true parent이 뭐 달라?
What is the difference between them?
뭐야? 사랑을 주는 사랑이야.
Well, when we say parents, with a physical lineage, first we think about love. Love towards the children. If parents doesn't have a love towards the children, then the relationship becomes very, very light and almost nothing. Like anything.
피지컬 페렌트는 피지컬을 잡고 사랑을 가르쳐주는 것이요. 스피리추얼 페렌트는 서영적인 사랑, 영적인 세계를 가르치는 사랑을
And the content of physical parents can teach us. Physical well-being, how to survive in the competitive world, and so forth and so forth. That's one plane, one dimension. Whereas the true parents has everything to do with the life, with
너들
the
말이야.
eternal life, the
그-
spiritual eternity, and the principle about the spirit world.
지금 피지컬 페렌트
Two different
필요하다는
quality.
것이 피지컬 페렌트, 트루 페렌트 필요한 것이 왜 이거 필요하는 것이 타락 때문이야. 타락.
And why do we have the two sets of parents? One physical and one true. As a result of the fall, in the original world there was one parent and one parent only.
그래.
That means one set of
지금까지
parents.
폴른 페렌트가 무엇을 가르쳐줘 나온 말이야. 이 절반 이상 더 큰 걸 다 따버리고 자기를 중 삼고 자꾸 내려가는 걸 가르쳐.
So until now, what the physical parents taught us was that to forget about these lofty ideas, forget about something bigger than you, care about yourself, care about your family, care about your immediate surroundings, relatives, confine yourself, become more faithful. That's what they insisted, what they taught, what they expected. Physical
그러니까
parents.
그 영원히 부모의 사랑을 중상 그런 사탄 세계의 영원히 있게 하기 위한 하나의 결정적인 금이 끼워졌다. 이걸 뚫기렸다.
In other words, the parents made sure that their children stay under this level, satanic dominion, which happened to be, and never ever have a high ideal of getting away from it and go to God or someplace else, to someone else. They just wanted to make sure that each children stay within this realm of satanic world. Made sure of that. They did everything to prevent you from going away from the satanic domain. Is that true? So much the better
페렌은 뭐냐?
parents.
여기서 이걸 기반하고 점점 더 큰 것을 가르치는 거예요. 이걸 올라가서 더 큰 것을 가르치는
But then what true parents' role in as far as teaching is concerned is somewhat contrary. In fact, quite contrary. Tell him, teach something and something and something, sacrificing. And he does that all the time, which is against what the teaching of here seems at first.
자, 그래서 말이야. 하늘나라에 영원한 나라에 맞게끔 가르친다. 영원한 나라에 가서 박장을 앞고 홍하고 지장목기를 만들어 그렇게 가르친다. 그래서
Why? Because he has a good reason, which we can already see. Good reason. Why? Because our life on earth is in gradual adaptation to the eternal world to come. We must love here, love here, love here every time so that we can breathe freely in the spirit world. If you love yourself, do that, then you will go deeper and deeper hell in the spirit world. This is the reason why Father teaches us the way.
영계가 모든 영계를 보내주고 나는 바람 끝부터 코나에 가게.
With that way of life, you will bear all the world in your back, take all the responsibility in your back, and maybe you don't have to appear at the center of the universe or anything. Just go to the corner and
그렇게 해야지. 돌아서면 전부 다 남을 위하고 자기를 부정하고 희생을 하도록 이런 패드는데 질시할 정도.
so when you turn around and everybody's out to pour love on you and do things for you and live for the sake of others, then you suffocate. I mean, the way you are brought up, and the way they are behaving doesn't match. In other words, you feel extremely uncomfortable.
이게 누가 만들었냐면 사탄이가
And how did they condition you that way? Satan did. Without understanding, your physical parents may have understood that way of life better than this way of life.
그래서 여러분이 주 패런트가 와서 해방해줄 바래. 해방해줄 바래.
But the spiritual being, deep spirit knows. Every one of them know. So they are coveting. So it's every object in the universe that one day true man will come. One day the Savior will come and deliver us from this confinement. Release us from this confinement.
릴리스하려면 맨 것을 그냥 그대로 그 식으로 내야 되겠나? 그 식으로 풀어야 되겠나? 반대로 풀어야 되겠나?
Releasing means the person is already bound up with a lot of a rope. Then if you do that more of that, do you think it's releasing? No, you have to unwind it, haven't you? The opposite way. If you're being taught this way, someone else has to teach the other way.
그래서 너 부모들 모니 전부 다뭔 수시하고 프로그램 해가지고 그렇지만 마음에 선생님의 말을 따라가면 갈수록 고통스럽지만은 평화가 너희들은 쉽기는 쉽지만은 지옥이 절망과 비참이 찾아.
And we see this already. When we listen to Father's words, then we feel confident. But then to put into practice, it's so painful. But then since we take Father's words seriously, we do and do it again. More painful, truly painful, but more peace is experienced, more victory is experienced, more sense of the easiness is experienced inside. Whereas if you choose the easy way, the more you do it, the more you find you are helplessly dragged into the hell.
1년 가고 10년을 그렇게 좀 뒤에다 버리면 붕붕 따라온다는 거야.
And if we do this way of life, which our true father, true parents teaches us, then after 10 years of work, we look back, there are enormous multitude following me, us. We know, oh, this must be a right way of life. Whereas if you do this way of life, you turn back and nobody seems to follow you. Always you will experience this solitude, aloneness, lonesomeness. You're just nobody is going along with you.
여기 죽지 않는 자신 있는 사람이 죽지 않을 자신.
And those here, those who have utmost confidence that you will never die, raise your hands. You will never die, I mean physically die. Everybody is realistic.
죽은 후에 어떻게 해? 죽은 후에 어떻게 해? 죽음으로 다 끝나는 거야? 죽음으로 새로운 세계가 시작되는 거야.
But what happened when we leave this earth and so-called die? Is that the end of everything? No, it's the beginning of some new life.
그때 가서 선생님한테 고마. 내가 사는.
But then he will know, oh, because of this, Father, I didn't understand at the time, but because of this, Father insisted me and told me over and over and over again. Every time Father saw me, he told me to suffer and sacrifice. You will only then know
이렇게 살아가는 영계 수천년 수공을 이런 유자산이니까 일세 화발 수 있고 아무리 이 이국 땅원시에 나라를 네가 같은 천국으로 가면 시간에 한순간에 화발 물과 같이
If you adjust,
바람물에 물까지 화발을 같이 대벌 해볼
if you accomplish your life here, if you perfect your character here on earth, according to the true parents' teaching, and then live like that, the unselfish life, then to go to spirit world, and you can make an instant meeting with the thousands of generations of your ancestry, even your enemy, you will meet, and you will instantly melt down each other. In other words, become perfect harmony, just like instant harmony and instant well getting along.
하늘나라에 큰 여자가 벌어지더라도 그런 내가 집가더라도 언제나 키웁니다.
And from that time, there are feasts given in the heavenly world. And when the heavenly world is giving feast, then you appear to that feast at any time. Then everybody will come and cherish you and welcome you because you are so adaptable to the original way of life in heaven. And that is my country, that is my home. Each individual home and each country. Do you understand? Original country we are
아버지가 갖고 있는
destined to go.
아버지 원래가 인데 받으니까 어디 가든지 그 주위 있는 동산 어딘지 받은 거지만
So whatever the parents own, the moment he inherits to the children, that's his, just as much as it is father's. So since father inherited him a lot, then he will go and welcome just like his own father is welcomed everywhere. Much the same relationship is with us.
어디 영웅이도 이런 하나님의 하나님과 살아가기 때문에 모두 옳다고
So we love them here, just like our parents loved everybody here, and on the spirit world too. They know that, and we are adapted to that, so they feel that they have a feeling of welcome towards us. So they welcome us.
그 세계는 영원한 세계인데
And that's eternal life. It's not the changing life.
사랑을 하기에 생땅 고달픈 사람은 늙어지고 사랑의 젊은이로서 그래서
So no matter how old you may be, accomplishing that here on earth and go to spirit world, you would remain as a youth forever and ever and ever. You never get old. Even though your physical self get old and go back to earth, your spiritual man will enjoy the eternal youth and never get old.
사춘기의 사랑은 제세에 하나님 영원한 생명을 사실 아니에요.
You must understand that you will debut again in the spirit world in a quite different person, more perfected, which is like in its puberty, like 17, 16, 17, in that the prime of life, that the prime of youth, and stay that way for the rest of forever and ever.
영계 가서 할 일이 뭐고 그 나라에 할 일이 뭐겠어? 사무 버는 게 뭐겠어?
Here, every day, we must go to office and keep the office hours. Everyone, one way or another way, we have to do that. What do you think we have to do when we go to the spirit world? What is kind of a corresponding to doing bookkeeping and things here in the office work? What is up there in the spirit world? I mean, you have to do something.
거기서 돈벌 나갔어?
Do you think you will start making money there too?
어디 가서 집이 필요해?
Or do you need a new house to build and to live in it?
그냥 너들 원하는 것 즉각적으로 다 복음 맡을 수 있는 자기 정도에 해당한 모든 해결할 수 있는 자유의 세계.
The way the spirit world work is, the moment you want something, not beyond your actual being, within your area, within your level. If you want a food, there is a food.
자,
If you want
그런데
a cloth,
야,
instantly there
내가
is a
이거
cloth.
원하는데 전부 다 이거 나타나면 즉각적으로 나타나는 것인데 그 내가 오는데 나를 위해서 이거 나타나는 절대만 즉각 큰 소리하고 안 된다.
But even though in the spirit world you will command something and then everything will become as you want it instantly. This is true, but not if you center around on yourself. Yeah, it's a very selfish reason. I wish I would own this kind of thing, this kind of food and this kind of clothing. And then you do that, but this is not responded. No matter how hard you ask for that, it it doesn't come.
반대로 내가 하나님을 사랑하고 세계를 사랑하고 하나나라의 왕자의 입장에 왕을 모시고 이러이러한 모든 것이 내가 필요 없기 때문에 나타나라.
But for the sake of the heavenly kingdom and for the prince of the heaven there, I need this so that I can dedicate this to him. And then you wish, then that wish instantly is granted, and that kind of a fantastic clothing is here in your doorstep so that you can dedicate that to
순식간에
the prince and him.
세계 그거는 상상에 미치는 건 다 가능한 세계예요.
So long as you imagine, instantly it will become reality. This is the spirit world, eternal spirit world.
그래서
Do you understand?
천만이 얼마나 이렇게 문제가 없고 말을 타고 말을 타고 비행기 타고 비행기 무엇이든 가능한 세계. 상상으로 미치지 못할 종류의 가능한 세계가 여기다 하는 거는
It can even go beyond your imagination. Some of the imagination, ahead of the imagination. So long as you can imagine something, it's there. It's that kind of a world in the spirit world. If you want to ride a fast train, or horse, or plane, and go hundreds times faster than the speed of light, you can. And there's nothing you cannot do which your imagination allows you. Banquet, a million people banquet at the same time, you can. But then not in selfish mode. That's why Father is teaching this. The only thing we have to know is right mode. And the right mode, this is so true. That doesn't mean selfish way of life, go to spirit world. He can propagate the selfish way of life. Billions of dollars and millions of people under him. No, it doesn't work that way. So long as it is in the lawful way in the spirit world.
이런 가정을 때 영계에 수많은 성인들이 왔다 가고 수많은 사람이 왔다 갔지만 레브런이 이런 일을 했고 이렇게 가르쳐주고 이런 실천했기 때문에 선생님의 당신이 보다라는 것을 누구든지 가지고 있다 하는 사실을 가지고
Many people may not know yet, but Father knows. Any person who set their foot on earth and lived, never taught this fashion, not even know that this is true. But Father knows. The Father's been teaching all Father's life this lesson. And Father made this actually work. There are certain foundations, certain steps to be necessary for all of us that our wish become true. But then this Father already accomplished.
그래서 영계라는 선생님과 자유자랑 그 마음대로 할 수 있는 역사상에 지금까지 없다고 나는 알고 있는데
Also Father knows clearly. Nobody on the history, not even Jesus, has accomplished on earth such a way that when he goes to the spirit world, everything that Father explained now, the instant, the reward, response will ever become possible. No one ever have done that before.
그 세계에 있어서 아들 딸을 해보자 에렌스의 가진 인이 되는 거 아니냐 같다 그래서
But then parents may be able to go that kind of heaven. But what heaven will be a good heaven if he does have no children with whom he can go together to that kind of heaven? That is what Father is working here in America and all over the world to nourish, to nurture, to bring up the children with whom Father and Mother can go to same spirit world, spiritual heaven.
어머니 아버지 우리 아들 딸 때리고 나 천정하지 않으셨던
So here is a logical structure already. I mean, logical conclusion, reasonable conclusion that therefore everyone in the spirit world will look up to Father because they benefit directly from Father. They can see it,
선생님 이제
and so does everybody on the heaven.
그런 관점은
So you must understand when Father look at you, Father doesn't look at you the way you think Father is looking at you. Father look at you only at a certain principle. That principle is, that's the way of life he ought to adopt to. Is he living up to that standard? By looking at the way he treats his wife, treats his children,
내가 너희 절대 못 따라간다. 따라간다는 사실 아니에요?
So here, Father might as well make a rather conclusion, simple conclusion, is that there are some things, no matter how much you wish, there's something that Father cannot listen to you.
그래서
Do you understand?
이 말을 따라가야 이런 게 싫거든.
Instead, we must follow what Father says to us. It's not two-way traffic. Sometimes, some area is one-way traffic. To make sure that we all go to the same heaven and spirit world where Father is going.
여기서 사다리가 있는 거지. 훈련학생 가정이라는 사람, 종족이라는 사다리, 민족이라는 사람, 국가라는 사람, 세계라는 사다리가 있다.
So it's a ladder. Here's a family and a clan and nation, the society, nation, and the world. Each is a ladder.
자, 그러면 여기서부터는 더 넓어지는 거지.
And after going up here, it becomes wider and wider and wider.
자, 요 가정을 중심이 요 벽을 중심 삼은 사다리는 이렇게 있을 수 있을 때 이건 못 올라가. 여기 이거 올라갈 수 없어. 넓이야지.
So this ladder is so long here. If you expect the same length, it just does not serve as a ladder, step of a ladder. You know, it has a longer according to that.
자, 요 가정 사다리, 요거 종족이면 종족 사다리 가져가지고는 이걸 그냥 이거 가지고 안 돼. 커져. 점점 더 이만씩 자꾸 커진다. 이만씩 자꾸 커진다. 커진다.
It becomes so much bigger, you know, that much bigger every time you climb up the ladder.
그러니까 아야당초 천재는 누구 삼고 하나라의 최고의 기능 삼고 훈련만 되거든. 마음대로
But if you are well trained to adjust up here, then you can go anywhere.
그렇지만 요 거리는 마찬가지예요. 거리는 마찬가지. 길이는 작지만 거리는 마찬가지.
Maybe the length is different, but this distance is all the same. You know, the ladder almost have an equal distance.
요게 뭐냐면 가정 내 기본적인 것 좋다.
And that is the basic, the foundation of family, traditional family.
요와 같은 사랑을 가지고 하면 다 좋아. 그래서 무슨 말이에요?
So you go up. If you apply the same principle that you built this foundation, here, and all the higher level, it applies the same
그런데
way.
이렇게 올라가면 좋겠는데 이렇게 안 돼. 땅 올라간다. 세계 넓게 넓어진다.
You want to climb just like that, but it doesn't work that way because as it becomes certainly clan is smaller, the nation is larger, and the world is even larger than nation, and so forth. Spirit world is largest. Go that way.
요거 센터라인 이렇게 걷게 되면 요 센터라인과 요것은 여기에 해당하는.
That and that
요것은
corresponding.
요것은 여기에 해당하는 거예요. 그러니까 여기에 해당할 수 있는 기준까지 여기서 쉽게
So to reach here, and this point as a base point, we will draw this line, both horizontally and vertically.
그래서 가정을 중심으로 지상 살아서 이런 사랑을 체험하게 합니다. 이걸 넘고 아시아 사람들이 하고 서부 사람들이 동양을 가야 남북을 동서남북을 초월해 가지고 이거를 사랑하게 하는
So in order to arrive here and reach to the heaven, then we do experience in every level and every part of the country on earth, over the boundary of a nation or the boundary of a race, go and love everyone so that one day we'll reach up to
자,
here.
그럼 여기서 여고리에 해당하는 것이 이것은 무엇이 이웃 동네 사람들이 너희들을 빠뜨려줘야 여기에 가정 같은 이것이 달려 들어갈 수 있다.
So what it takes is enough number of people will have to support you to get up here and then support you staying there.
그러니까 너는 선생님 사건하지.
Now we all support Father, don't we?
어디 사람 세계 사람들이.
And the world people too. You know, they each one come from different parts of the world, and everyone support Father. That means world level support.
그 그냥 사건하는 거다.
It's not support. They are not supporting because they want to support Father, but somebody has made a foundation on which they are able to support Father. Don't you see that?
여기서